Hey, what is poppin', guys? Officially, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency have been in the bear market exactly 1 year. However, these three things, without a doubt of my mind, would be the trigger of the next Bitcoin bull market run. In this video, I will talk about three main catalysts that will spark the bull market, which are security token ecosystem, Bakkt, Bitcoin ETFs, and more. The next Bitcoin bull market could be just around the corner. The bull market could start with no specific reason, or it could start after a certain trigger. What are the things will trigger the next Bitcoin bull market? Which events could launch Bitcoin upwards after a prolonged bear market? Here are the three most likely things that could trigger the next Bitcoin bull run. The launch of security token ecosystem. The launch of security token ecosystem could spike the Bitcoin into the bull market. A security token ecosystem would include tokenized security like traditional finance assets stored on the blockchain and transferred as easily as digital tokens. Today's coins are not technically securities. Last year and in 2017, ICOs was selling tokens that replicated securities and functionalities similar to shares, but they were not actually security tokens. In the future, companies could sell real regulated shares on security token marketplaces, instead of today's massive different regulations. We could have seen legitimate tokenized securities trading available worldwide. Here we have Brave New Coin explain the potential impact of security token ecosystem. And quote, "This is why security tokens have the most potential to be game changers, essentially becoming the ICO model that utilize token evolution that in reality the market always intend to interact with." Essentially, a security token ecosystem would be the whole new economy. It could change the way companies crowdfund its businesses. It could reinvent the concept of the entire stock market. While blockchain equity tokenization could conceivably regain the logging ICO investment space, it has the potential to go further as a viable alternative to IPO or venture capital funding, maintaining the advantage of accessible liquidity and blockchain payment verification of the ICO models, with added legal compliance and transparency. A security token ecosystem could involve much more than just stocks and bonds. It could involve tokenized real assets trading, tokenized fine art trading, and more. What needs to happen for security token ecosystem to launch? Several things need to occur for security token ecosystem to be launched. Here are some things that could trigger its launch. Polymath is already building framework for tokenized equities. In fact, this platform has already laid the fundamentals for launch of the first wave of security tokens for decentralized autonomous organization, known as DAOs. There are legal and regulatory concerns with how securities trading could work. Real estate, work of art, and intellectual property would have to be divisible in some measurable and equivalent way. Ordinary investors would need to buy in to the concept of tokenized assets. Ultimately, a security token ecosystem would bring greater transparency and decentralization to investors. We saw hints of the power of token-based economy with the rise of ICOs in 2017. The real token evolution, however, could be right around the corner, and that revolution could spark the Bitcoin bull market run. Futures trading on Bitcoin launched in December 2017. Today, there are several marketplaces for Bitcoin futures although institutions are hesitant to get involved. That could change with the launch of Bakkt, the crypto startup backed by ICE, the parent company of New York Stock Exchange. Bakkt also has the support of Starbucks, Microsoft, and other major American corporations. Bakkt launch has been pushed back to the first quarter of 2019. When launched, however, Bakkt could create a huge bull market surge across the cryptocurrency space. Institutional investors could pour money into cryptocurrency using the safe way provided by Bakkt. Bakkt's future contracts will have huge difference from today's Bitcoin futures contracts that are in CBOE. Bakkt will actually purchase Bitcoin. When Bakkt receive a contract order, they will purchase a real Bitcoin. This should secure more effective price discovery, especially when compared to leveraged Bitcoin future contract options available today on BitMEX, CME, and CBOE. It will also mean that Bitcoin will need to be purchased at market rates, pumping up demand and creating better liquidity, all of which is good for the future of Bitcoin. The SEC approves a Bitcoin ETF. I know, CBOE currently pulled back its Bitcoin ETF application due to the government shutdown, but now government are open and SEC functions once again. Well, hopefully. CBOE will refile its application in the nearest future. If you ask the average crypto fan what would be the biggest trigger of the Bitcoin bull market run, many of them would mention the much anticipated Bitcoin ETF approval. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission, or in short SEC, has received a dozen of applications for Bitcoin Exchange Traded Fund, or in short ETFs. To date, the SEC has denied all of those ETF proposals. Those are several ETF proposals making their way through the system right now, however, that have a good chance of being approved. With each ETF rejection, the SEC has outlined and conditions needed for approval to take place. Some see the launch of Bakkt as one of the reasons why Bitcoin ETF will be approved within this year. Bakkt will create effective price discovery in Bitcoin while reducing manipulations. Manipulations and insufficient investor protection are two of the most SEC major concerns with Bitcoin's ETF. Bakkt could easily solve both of those issues. The SEC could approve Bitcoin ETF in the near future. The SEC has at least two pro-crypto commissioners on its board, including aka Crypto Mom, known as Hester Pierce. The most promising Bitcoin ETF about to refile its application for VanEck and SolidX Bitcoin Trusted Fund. However, ETFs from DirectSend, ProShares, and others also making their way through the system. At the moment any of ETFs is approved could be a historical day for Bitcoin. The approval of ETF would make it easier for investors to purchase a share of Bitcoin without any hesitations and without actually purchasing a real Bitcoin and be responsible for private and public keys. Those ETFs would then use investors' money to purchase Bitcoin from the market, which would be much more convenient, especially if someone knows what they are doing. Other things that could trigger a Bitcoin bull run. Those are three events that are the most likely events that could trigger a Bitcoin bull market. However, these are the number of other scenarios that could occur and similar trigger a bull market run. The United States could ditch US dollar since there is no way in hell to repay all of those accumulated debt over the years with US dollar. Simply, government can default on US dollar and declare Bitcoin as government-backed official currency. Do I think this will ever happen? Probably not. Why would government reject US dollar if they can print this currency out of the thin air for free? Despite the fact that they have a shitload of debt, I think it's very unlikely scenario that Bitcoin would be a reserve currency of United States, but the future will show. Another scenario that is unlikely to happen once again is that Apple could launch a hardware wallet for cryptocurrencies, which I do not believe it will happen once again. Why would Apple partially destroy its business? However, this is just speculations. If either one of those events would happen, it could likely to trigger an enormous Bitcoin bull run, but neither one of them seems to occur in the near future. Will these events mentioned above trigger a Bitcoin to new highs in 2019? Or are we going to wait until 2020 for the next Bitcoin bull market run? It's also possible, of course, that this Bitcoin bear market does not quit and we will never see Bitcoin rise above $4,000 once again. However, I highly doubt it. I'm pretty sure in the future we will see Bitcoin in a new all-time highs. So we came to the end. Let me know what you guys think about the next bull market run. What would be the main catalyst to spike the Bitcoin bull market on your opinion? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And if you're new to this channel, do not forget to subscribe for more animated videos about cryptocurrency and financial market. Other than that, thank you for watching and see you next video.